welcome everybody to Play or Pass. Today we're going to be covering Moonfall. Like to thank all everyone in the panel, as well as our two special guests, as you've seen on the intro, Mark and Stacy, who actually worked on this movie. Eddie's kids. So I want to say thanks to Eddie for getting us some special guests, bud.
Yeah, okay.
Pulling his weight to get the superstars in here. I try to pull.
That means I have to watch my language today, right?
Yeah. How about behaving? So if you've not watched our show before, we review a movie that was voted last week for us to review, and we welcome you to be able to vote on Telegram. You can vote for next week's movie, and you can also vote if you call this a play or a pass. So we're going to go through, and you guys, I see looking through the people on our side chat, Jim and Leon, our regular people. Tim's hanging with us. Red's hanging with us. So awesome to see some people, and we'll see some more people jumping in here that normally watch us that tend to run in a few minutes late. So thanks to Mark and Stacy, and we'll let them talk about the Moonfall after we kind of review it, and they can jump in during the reviews. And we're just, hey, Sharon. So everyone be nice. You can't just say something. Like I tell people all the time, you can't just say a movie sucks. You got to say why it sucks. What did you like? What didn't you like? There's, be particular about it. So let's take a look at what we need to vote for next week's movies. Let me share this for a second, then I'll run through everybody. Okay, so this is the movie we're covering this week. So for next week's movie, now these are the picks for next week. You need to vote so that before the end of the show, we're going to know which one of these movies we are forced to sit through. The In-Between, which is a little love story. Two lovebirds, and the boyfriend dies, and he crosses over, and they miss each other. So a little drama love story there. Metal Lords, heavy metal kids, or some kids that want to be in a heavy metal band. So we got that. Holy Heist, which is basically like a documentary.
It's a documentary.
That's based on a true story of Brinks being robbed.
Yep.
So that is an option. Maybe I see it's got Discovery down there, Discovery Plus. I don't know if that's on
Discovery Plus. I think originally might have put it. Oh, either they put it out or they financed it.
Okay. All right. So another movie that As They Made Us. We got Dustin Hoffman in this, and I watched the trailer of this.
Great cast. That's the one that Mayim Bialik from
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy, yeah. Easy enough. Yeah, from Jeopardy. That's her new movie.
Okay. So that's one of the options. Also, All the Old Knives. Kind of an old how I think it had to do with it. Wasn't this the one with the CIA's?
Yeah, CIA. Yeah.
The CIA, so a little bit of CIA stuff. And then Amazon Prime. That's on Amazon Prime. Another one of the options this week, we've got Agent Game, which is Mel Gibson. Yeah, I already see the IMDb rating.
Oh, right. Yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'll have that on my list. So then we got Uma, which is is this a thriller horror movie?
A thriller horror. By the time you get into it.
And Sandra she's from
Sandra
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy, yeah.
Yep, so she's
no longer there, but
Okay. Another option is The Outfit, which I actually had watched a preview for this prior. And that's the guy that was in Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Because when I'm looking, I'm like, I know him from somewhere, and it was from Ready Player
Spies.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark Rylance. So is that is the movies? That's the options for this week. So before the end of the show, we'll know which one of these that we're going to be forced to sit through. And I say this, and I've said this before: if you're going to vote for us to have to watch this, we expect you to watch it too, so that if we got to watch it, you need to watch it. So you'd have an opinion on it. So we got The Outfit, Uma, Agent Game, All the Old Knives, As They Made Us, Holy Heist, Metal Lords, and in the Between. And so before the end of the show, we'll know which one of those we're forced to sit through. But today, I'd like to say hi to all the panel. How's everyone doing on the panel today?
Good.
Good.
Very good.
Good. I'm good.
And I see these guys, Mark and Stacy, they were able to pick this right up. First time being on StreamYard, not a problem. These guys are fast. So we're going to open the floor, and what we do with this, Mark, Stacy, we just open the floor. People say their comments, pros, cons, what they liked, what they didn't like, and there's no rhyme or reason. We just let the floor run, and we'll let the people on the side chat, and either Alban or I can toss it over in the comments, or so that the rest of the viewers can see it. So let's just open the floor. So what are we thinking? Moonfall. This was highly anticipated movie. Lots of people were waiting on this. I know that for months that I had seen people asking, when was this gonna be released?
Well, I'll say it was a beautiful movie. All the effects were top notch. But
yeah, I will say that one of the best effects was the ocean.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Coming up. Yeah.
When the space shuttle was leaving, I you've seen tidal waves, Armageddon or whatever, big tidal waves coming in. But this had a different feel to it. So you actually saw the ocean, pulling up, which I thought was kind of a neat idea.
Losing gravity.
Yep.
How was that done?
So that's all VFX. That's all CGI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the outer space stuff was done really well, I thought.
If you go back, well, you see that's come back,
Yep.
Where Patrick Wilson comes out of the dumpster there. Well, you see what's behind him. That's visual effects. That was all on stage in studio. Okay. So when you look at the scene in the movie, there's wind. Well, that's the wind that you see fluttering his shirt and his hair. Well, that's special effects. That is special effects. Yeah.
And any water or anything like that, like rainwater, you guys do all that stuff.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
right.
Everything that has to do with rain, physical rain that's hitting the cast, that's us. And
you see that
from there, what they do is that the visual effects will piggyback on the real rain that we're doing to amplify it.
Mm-hmm. And now you see this scene. This was very challenging. Of course, that the shuttle is not there. That was CG, but all the Humvees were there. What you see is set dressing. This was made in a small town called Mascouche, right next to the highway. We had 50 caliber guns shooting, all that kind of stuff, and we caused traffic on the highway because people didn't know what was going on.
You should have shot that in the U.S. We wouldn't have thought nothing about it.
That's right. So
tax credits.
Yeah. So when we arrived on day 1 of 3 days that we spent there, it had snowed, and we did not expect snow. So we had to order in some water trucks. And my brother and I and a few of the other guys that were on set, we had to melt down all the snow that was on the art department stuff, what you see, like all the buildings, all the stuff on the floor, on the ground. So we had to melt that with magnesium water, mixed water, and ready for when Roland Emmerich came in, that the set was ready. So, that's movie making for you. You got the God factor, which you never know when you're outside on location, never know what you're going to be thrown into. So that was one of the challenge. We arrived at close to 4 a.m. to try to clear the set to make sure that it's ready to shoot.
Well, but it probably helped with this mud that you guys had going on with all that water. It's like, hey, this will work great for us having some mud.
Yeah,
exactly.
Water cannons.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was Auburn, are you watching that damn video again?
No, they're riding bikes out here by me, taunting me.
Like, since you guys worked on the by, I guess, the physical special effects. The one scene like where the kid is trapped underneath the tree, Sonny.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Could you ask Roland if he does a director's cut? Could you reshoot that scene where the tree freaking crushes him to death?
Yeah.
That would make it the film more enjoyable.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
FX kit.
the tree was actually made by us, by
Yeah.
special effects. Yeah, and all the snow also that was around. We laid down the snow. All the snow that you see in the movie also were the ones doing it, operating the snow machines and the fans to create the atmosphere for the actors to get into the scene.
I did think the snow looked pretty good in this film, to be honest with you, because a
Oh.
lot of
Does
the
have an
times it
ass-
doesn't. A lot of times it does not look good.
Well, yes, you know, it all depends as well. You know, when you have a close shot, of something, usually we take real snow or crushed ice. Let's say, for example, when it's you know, they close in on a foot to do a footprint. Well, that's going to be real snow that we're going to use. But usually, when we cover the stage, it's all this was done with mostly called paper snow. We had, if I'm not mistaken, Stace, just let me know, but we had, I think, 8 semi trucks of paper snow, which was stacked by 4 inside the 53 footers. So we had tons of paper snow on those sets. It was quite challenging because you know you had to move that snow, you had to manipulate the snow, so as well as doing snowstorms with fans and snow and all that kind of stuff. So, but it was challenging and it was interesting to work with. It was not the first time we worked with that type of snow, but with that amount was the first time. That was like
That was huge.
a first for us. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
It
huge.
was it was convincing snow. I mean, that's one of the things that did because I knew it couldn't be real snow because
Right.
you can't schedule that you're
No.
gonna have
Because they were supposed to be in Aspen, wasn't it? Wasn't they supposed to be in Aspen or something like
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looked like powder, you know, like
Yes.
Yes.
like
Perfect.
it should.
What was the movie you worked on? A movie they had snow and then Riddick. When you did Riddick, the Riddick
Riddick?
came in. Yeah,
Oh,
and
you
he
want
came in
Riddick?
and he bought all the snow. There wasn't snow. You said it was some kind of salt.
That was on Mummy.
Yes.
Sorry, it was on Mirror Mirror with
Yeah, Mirror
Julia
Mirror.
Roberts.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mirror
but that
Mirror.
wasn't
Yeah.
real snow.
No, Mirror. When we worked on Mirror Mirror, we had a stage full of salt. We had some small grain salt to big clusters of salt. That was covering the stage. That was another type of technique. That was kind of rough too because when you're indoors with that amount of salt, you know, you got your boots corroding. You got people having nosebleeds because the dry air.
Yeah.
And we had horses on that, and the horses, well, you know, they did their business in the salt.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that was quite fun. But yeah, that was on Mirror Mirror, and it was salt and not paper. Yeah.
So
There's one thing that I found in the movie, and I showed it to Stacy and Mark. I noticed it right away when they're getting ready to take off, and they're on just underneath the rockets, and they said, "Well, we have one rocket. You know, it was a default." And they start showing the new rocket. Well, the rocket right beside it wasn't a rocket; it was a Pratt and Whitney engine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even I had to go back and see it again, but for a little fraction of a second, I seen the logo that they put on each Pratt and Whitney engine, and I said, "Oh yeah, that's a PW100. It's that's no rocket. That's for a plane."
I gotta ask you. Do you guys have ever you work on something and say how it's blowing and they'll make you work on it for umpteen hours and they come back and they still cut it and they don't use what you thought was
Well,
the best.
yes, actually, the scene that you see in Mascouche there, where you saw the military
Mhm.
caravan with the
Yeah.
shuttle. Well, that scene we actually shot there three days,
3 days.
and most of it was nights, and there was a lot of fire, smoke, black smoke. There was also a 53-footer semi truck that we burnt for real on fire for more than one take, and
They didn't use
what
it.
happened is that it went in the cutting floor. We didn't even see it in the
Wow.
movie. You only see a little shot of it in the
Uh-huh.
news,
Yeah.
and that's it. But those were actually 3 long days that we were doing it just to
Wow.
show it for like maybe 1 minute on a
Oh
TV
man.
news clipping. Yep.
So
Speaking of that semi truck, we worked on that semi truck for weeks.
Mhm.
All the concepts and all the stuff like that is from our supervisor Guillaume Murray, which is MFX production. He comes up with all these gags and how to do them. All props to him from the
Yep.
tip tanks to the zero G rig, from the cars, and from the semi truck. The semi truck we had to empty. We had to do a double shell inside the truck with diesel pans and all that kind of stuff. So knowing Roland doesn't just take one take. He takes 15, 20,
Yeah.
18 takes. So you have to make sure that your gag is ready for that type of use.
Yeah.
To do it multiple times.
Oh
To
yeah,
do it
exactly.
multiple times. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, kind of
Yeah.
like if you think about it, I think of it as if you ever went to Disney World.
Yes.
Disney World, if you ride through some Disney World, there'll be those things going off, and they have to
Yes.
go off. So they have to create it so where it can
Exactly.
be replicated over and over and over,
Exactly.
but still look
Yes.
real.
Yes.
Exactly. So
I guess this is the woman you're talking about, right?
yes,
Eddie? The engine?
for that shot where my dad sees the Pratt and Whitney engine. So basically on stage we only had that scaffolding. The rest was all green screen. So all you see is visual effects. But
Mhm.
my brother is on that stage to make sure that there's like the scaffolding is all wet. I'm off stage on a forklift on a huge fan, blowing the crap out of Halle Berry and Patrick Wilson, because they're supposed to be very high.
Yeah.
So to make that effect, they had to have a lot of wind. Just to let you know that the talent read the script and they know what they're getting into. And Roland doesn't play around. When he wants to win, he wants to win. But when you have talent like Halle Berry and Patrick Wilson saying, "Hey, you know what? That's too much win."
Too much wind.
Then we have to cut it down. And and he has to juggle that. So sometimes, when you look at the thing, to make it more real, it would have had more wind, but due to talent and due to all that kind of stuff, and you have to reduce it, and you have to manage it. So it's all that you have to think about in a day's work.
I was looking. I'll give you my thoughts on the movie. I was looking forward to it, and I didn't have high hopes for it. Just honest. I just felt like a lot of times when everybody hypes up a movie, usually you're let down. So if I go into a movie not expecting a lot, then I'm able to enjoy it more because I don't set such a high bar for it. In this movie, I felt like it had a lot of stuff going on. I was thinking, how are they going to pull this off? I mean, we've seen Armageddon type movies, so you're thinking, right, that's the idea they're going after. One of the things I had an issue, I felt like for me, if they would have cut out about a half hour of the movie, I thought when the gang, like the guys that were stealing, the hijackers, I'll call them the hijackers. They hijacked them on the road, and they hijacked them at the fire station. I don't know how. To me, I didn't think it really played into the story. what they were trying, what the story was trying to be. So to me, I felt like that didn't need to be there. And at times, I felt like the writing of the dialogue. And I'll use the example that kid, the son. Shoot, I can't remember. When his acting was, I couldn't look at him because I'm watching him. He had no expression, no expression on his face. And he's like, "Oh, Dad, yeah, he's going up in space." And the only time that I watched it and I liked him was remember when the aliens took it out of the dad's brain and like put him there in front of him, and he acted like the robot. I was like, well, there you are. You're acting better here than you did when he was in the part.
Because it wasn't really him. It was the aliens.
Right? But he was supposed to be real blah then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you're playing the part perfect. You know, he's blah. There was parts like when he first got in the helicopter. Remember when they were bringing him to the space station, or not space station, where they're going to launch?
Yeah.
So he gets out of jail. He's in the helicopter. He looks at the thing. He goes, "Thanks for getting me out of jail."
Yeah.
With this like no expression, no hey. It was like I'm looking like
that's those kids of today.
It was like nails on a chalkboard because I felt like why are you saying that, number one? And number two, why are you saying it that way? I understand you're supposed to be kind of like, upset because your dad's busy doing astronaut stuff and, but there was parts in it that the dialogue, I didn't feel like meshed. It just didn't flow. There was parts that were really funny. There was parts of this movie that I was like, that was funny line. That was a good line. But then there was other parts. I was like, why did they say that? It's like, who was doing the screenplay? I mean, so.
I seen Roland had a writing credit on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was just parts of that. The space when they went to the moon and they actually went to the moon, I thought that was really cool. The idea of that, the whole visual thing that they did and played off, that made sense to me for that type of movie. When the moon was going close to the Earth in the gravity and that part where the space shuttle was taking off, that to me was probably one of the best like visuals. It's like you see the ocean lifting and the space shuttle's taking off, even though that wave would have came in a little quicker than that. But there was lots of things that I felt they had it in the movie. And I'm thinking, why is that in the movie? To me, it's full of action, but I think it seemed like he was trying to put in like that stepfather thing, the whole stepfather storyline. Why is this? I mean, that was what part of the writing.
There's always one of those in every disaster type film. It's always because they always kill him off, and the original parents always get back together.
Oh, they need to stop that.
Well, it was funny because when Shannon and I were watching that, and he gives the oxygen to his daughter, and Shannon goes, "Why don't they just share it?" I'm like, "Duh! I mean, you can share it with your kid. I'll take a breath or so. Think if you're like in the ocean, we can share it."
Yeah.
But I don't know. There was parts like that bugged me, but I love the idea of this that the moon is a superstructure, which is a conspiracy theory that some people believe that. So I like that idea. I liked how they ran with that. I liked a lot of the other aspects of it. When she sent everybody home and they were all on the plane within minutes, I felt like, are we edited? Was this edited right here correctly? Because she's like, all right, everyone go home. And it was
go home.
Everybody's gone.
Everyone's gone.
Did they have their bags packed? So, I mean, that's just, for me, that was a part where I thought that the screenplay, the writing of it, it didn't work for me. And I felt like that didn't work. But a lot of the other aspects of the movie, I enjoyed. I did enjoy the car chases when they were going through there. I thought that was neat. When he jumps that, remember when they near the end and he jumps when the gravity goes and he hits that little platform, the Lexus, which Lexus got paid. So Lexus, jumps and so did what was it? Krispinski antivirus. They got paid in this movie too. They paid numerous spots because I was like, What's that in there for? And Shannon didn't even notice it. I'm like, yeah, they paid for that spot right there because it's in there about 3 times. So
how do you guys feel about like continuity in movies? Do you feel that sometimes something could you know that okay, well, like for example, one of the issues I had was looking at space and not seeing too many stars. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, is space that black, or shouldn't there be some stars somewhere? But I don't know whether or not they're taking them out because maybe they have to, CG them in or something, or what? How do you guys feel about that?
Are you talking to my brother and I, or are you talking to the panel?
Well, really the whole panel, but you guys would know best since you were there.
Actually, that's not really my department, but what I know about movies, that's more of a taste. In movies, you got the production designer who works hand in hand with the director.
Right.
And here was Kirk Petcherelli. He's the production designer. The production designer is in charge of making sure that the look of the movie is to par. So
like a continuity or
not continuity, because the continuity is more when it comes to you have another department which is next to the director, which is the script. The script makes sure that everything, if the watch was on the right hand, to make sure that the watch is still on the right hand.
Okay, all right.
But when it comes to that type of visual effects, I think you fall into the field of the taste of the director. So here, I would say more that what Roland wanted to see, because that's his vision in regards to when it comes, because he has the last word. So when that comes to here, the visual effects department will do what Roland asks. So if he says, I want more stars, they'll put more stars. If he says, I'd rather have a more bleak, more like black velvet type of space, then that's what they'll do. So yeah, it's pretty much of a chain of command. But when it comes to the visual look, it's mostly the director or the production designer that's in charge of that.
Okay.
Yes, as for example, you see when when you look at the spacesuits, the first time when we saw the spacesuits, we're like, with the orange there. We're like, hey, okay, this is kind of retro and all. We didn't really know. And the costume, the wardrobe department, well, that Roland wanted the first suit from the Apollo mission.
Oh,
and
okay.
That's the exact replica
of that suit. Yeah.
Of that suit. Yeah. But the people on set when we were working, we had no clue, until we asked the right people, and then when after that, when it's into context, then you're like, oh, okay, because it's not everybody that has the script or reads the script when you start to work on the show. Right. A lot of people just jump into the mashup and start working, but a lot of my brother and I, we strive to have the script on hand, to read the script before we arrive on set, before we start working on a picture. Yeah. To really wrap our heads around on what we're doing. So all the stuff like what my brother just said about the look and stuff. Well, it comes down to Roland Emmerich's taste.
Okay.
And he does seem to want to destroy stuff.
Well, he's the king of it. He's the king,
especially New York.
Yeah, especially New York.
He's on the East Coast. I mean, Independence Day destroyed it.
He's the king of that.
I do want to say a shout out to him, because I watched this movie and I even wrote a note for it. I just wanted to thank him so much for not destroying the Freedom Tower. Because I'm watching everything getting destroyed around it, but they left it alone. I was like, oh,
that's good.
Yeah, and just to point out, I mean, Roland, he's doing big things in Hollywood, because this is one of the first independent films. This was not backed up by studios. This was close to 140 million, and this is all independent money. Roland is outside the box. He's totally free from studio control. So he's doing everything on his own, which is to be recommended, because to do that type of film in the studio that he had, if you would see the studios, you would say, what, Moonfall was done here? Yeah, all of it. And that's it. So Roland Emmerich has that type of talent, has that type of pull, where he can ask what he wants and mostly get it. Right. And when we did Day After Tomorrow, which was my brother and I's first film, when he was backed up by when he was backed up by studio, his hands were tied, and even though he got what he wanted, but he had to, there was a lot of pull, there's a lot of struggle, tug of war between studio and him. Well, now on Moonfall, and that's all him. It's all him. He has nothing, and he would say it's often on set. He would say, I'm not backed up by studio. This is all my money. This is all private investors. So we got to make it right.
Now, do you feel that because of since COVID and everything is being streamed and not much stuff is going to a theater, would you guys rather see your stuff in a theater first before it starts going? Okay.
There's no other way. There's no other way. Theater's the best. I mean, it's the best experience to have.
Right. But you see all this HBO and Hulu and all these guys are just making this stuff and put it right to streaming. We don't get to see the numbers for those.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. What we don't know what they're making, or even a way to find what they're making on those films.
And also, I just want to point out too that while we filmed Moonfall, we were right dab in the middle of the pandemic, and then we had a stellar system in regards to for the tests and everything, and we did not feel the pandemic on set one bit. And Roland was able to manage this huge production during this time, and because of it, just because of the fact that we were able to pull through this major production, it actually invited more people, more productions to come to Montreal, because of the fact that we had such a good system established to prevent anybody from getting infected on set.
Yeah, we were kind of a template for how to work COVID. And just the COVID budget was $6 million. So
dang.
Yeah. So
that's people getting tested every day. Then I mean,
three times a day. 3 times a day.
3 times.
Yeah. So on set,
3 times a week. I'm sorry, 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times a week. So us on set, we were tested 3 times a week. Other people that was not going on set, they were tested once a week. And so it was all the managing of all the departments and who's cleared to go on set and who's not. And anyways, it was stellar on the department that was able to do that. Yeah.
But I read an article that this movie was based. A lot of movies based their production during the COVID epidemic on this movie. The way it was being done in Montreal.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. What did they do? They put a band on somebody to say, "Okay, you're safe to be on set."
Yeah, exactly. We had we had wristbands, and we also had like a kind of a pass on us, a badge which say that A is on set, permitted, green. B was like offset, and then you had C, which was really, really offset. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great to know. About the movie, I didn't even get to say anything. I like the movie. but to me it was just like the continuity of certain things that just drove me crazy. Like when the kids first left and they had that Humvee and they're leaving, and they're gone for 10 minutes or so, and then the next thing you know, the wave is coming, and they're sitting there all looking at the wave, let alone that they're sitting on a cliff. Why
Yeah.
would they drive up to a cliff and just watch the end of the road?
Gotta say goodbye to Dad.
Yeah, I
Bye,
just
Dad. Bye, Mom.
drove me nuts. But
I know. I said the same thing with shit. It was like, I said,
it was,
why are you sitting there? Go,
yeah.
go.
Go, get out of there. The when he had to do the split second calculations when they're up there, I was just like, I can't see this happening. But I know it's a movie, but it was a shame that that everyone else who was working to try to get the shuttle up and all, they all died. The helicopter, that those last two guys jump into, they died. It's just like, but meanwhile, the other cars that they're driving, they're able to drive out of there. Why didn't the cars lift up and with the gravity? Just things like
Hey,
that.
so let me ask. That reminds me. Yeah, you had a good point there. Now, did you guys work on the part where they had to make them look like when they were running towards jumping towards the helicopter?
Yes.
Would that be
Yes. So
special effect?
yes. So what happened is that our supervisor Guillaume Murray, he's the one who came up with the idea to create a we called it the G-force rig, and it's actually a it's like a robot that actually was used with predetermined actions inside program, and they were on like a harness in order to be able to then actually fly when they came to feeling like they were like zero gravity. It was all on set live when we did that, and
a lot of rain, a lot of wind.
Yeah, and that part where you see them go up and down, jumping to get into the helicopter, then we had a crew, which calls the rigging crew, was in charge of actually lifting the actors up and down physically to actually move towards the helicopter.
Wow.
Yes, and as well as the helicopter, that was a real helicopter that was brought in.
That was there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually real. Yeah.
Yeah, brought in. But yes, the zero G rig with the crew of Guillaume Murray's crew on the G rig, they did a phenomenal work. From Halle Berry to Patrick Wilson, and to flying inside the cockpit and all that stuff when they're outside the satellite as well. When you see them, that's all the G-rig concept, and that was phenomenal.
Why do you talk about? Remember when that big wave hit the hotel?
Yeah.
So that wave, that was on a 30-foot metal structure with 2 tip tanks. There was 7,000 gallons of water that was thrown into that set and onto a ramp, onto that lobby. Now we had to work in close hand with construction and art department to make that set a pool, basically, so we can be able to fill the set with water. So for the wave itself, for the tsunami wave, that tsunami wave, I think, states that, if I'm not mistaken, was one take, right? I think.
Yeah, exactly. We did it in one take, but then after that, I think we kept going more than, I think we filled them. We filled those tip tanks, I think 12 times, and we did it 12 times, but we got it on the first take. and it's a stunt guy that took the wave. When you see him fall, the stunt guy really took the wave head on, and props to that guy, because that's a lot of water rushing to you.
Yeah.
And so we had to we were managing mostly like the handling the rig, or the cannons, or the water, but the concept itself was Guillaume Murray's. He had to think about, how do we drain the water off this set for every take, and he had to come up with the logistics of how to get rid of the water for not to flood the set all the time. And so it was an amazing endeavor. It was very challenging for him, for sure, to come up with this idea, and to come up with the exact logistics on how to bring it about. And it was an amazing job. Everybody loved it. It was on set. It was amazing.
Yeah, Roland Emmerich couldn't believe how Guillaume was able to pull that off, and to the point that it was really something else to see. On that day, everybody was on edge, as you know, because the stunt guy, and thank God he just got a little scratches and a little bruise. It wasn't worse, He could have went south quite
fast. Yeah.
Quite fast.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we pulled it off, and it was phenomenal. It was just amazing, an amazing feat for Guillaume and the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to think it, like you said, having to think it out from start to finish, and how do we redo this?
Exactly.
To how do we get the water to get the shot we want in the way we want it, and then we got to get rid of that water, because we're going to need to take another take.
Exactly. And when you think about it, remember that it comes on a 1/8 of a page in a screenplay. So when they're sitting down and they're saying, well, Guillaume, we want to have this water for real on set, Guillaume has to come with the idea, with his engineers, with the fabricators, and the whole crew to operate the whole situation for that take. He has to come up with that. How do we pull it off? How do we do it? And
as well to work with Kirk Petrelli, the production designer, and his art department, because you have to make sure that the set doesn't leak. You have to make sure that when you decide to take out the water, that it doesn't look that the set is wet. So there's so many logistics that goes into a prep like that. So and plus it's all inside. We're not outside. We're inside on stage, which is another dimension to that.
Do you guys have to take like your big fans and blow all the water droplets off everything before you can shoot again?
Yeah, yes,
Sometimes we have to,
absolutely,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Guillaume came up with one fan. We called it the Big Papa, because it's a V8 motor.
Wow.
On it, yeah, and this fan goes up to 3,500 RPMs. This boy kicks.
But how big is it? What's the span of it?
Oh, the span of it in diameter, I have no idea, but this thing is huge.
It's huge, yeah.
There's a throttle, there's there's the two mufflers coming out because the exhaust has to come out.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive, and just to let you know, there's a base to it that you have to lock it down so it doesn't kick back.
Away. Yeah.
So yeah, that's. So yes.
Have you guys ever messed around and stood in front of it? Messed around with it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just for example,
who can stand it the longest?
Yeah. It's like we did. We had a hand on the Adele video, Hello. Mm-hmm. And all the wind, that's my brother and I and the MFX crew doing the wind on Adele. And the wind, and all that stuff. And at one point, she's like in front of this little pond, and all these leaves fall in the pond, and then our department, after every take's trying to take the leaves out of the pond so that when the continuity girl, says, wait, there's no leaves in that take. So anyhow, so Guillaume's once said, you know what, hey, instead of like going with the skim and taking all a bunch of time to take the leaves off, you just parked that big old boy right in front of that pond, cranked it up, all the leaves were gone in the split of a second, and that's it, So, yeah.
I have a question. How does someone, if someone wanted to get into like a visual effects, special effects, any of those kind of things, how would somebody, if they want to get, what kind of schooling would they get into, or how would they get into it?
Honestly, schooling, it's not really, I mean, schooling will give you the basics, but there's nothing better than a hands-on on the job training. What happens is it's very unionized. And most of the time it's pretty hard to get in. You have to know somebody in order to get in. But also it all depends on the budget. So like a big movie, I'll give you an example. A movie like X-Men that we worked on, Apocalypse, The Dark Phoenix and whatnot. Big movies like that, or like Moonfall, what happens is that you demand so many people. That's the perfect time to come in if you're interested in going in, because they request to have a lot of people on hand in order to work. So, but once if a movie like that is not in town, it's harder to get in because the crew is smaller, because it depends on the budget. So
Okay.
I would say it's if you really want to work in the movie business, you got to know somebody. And you have to have the right opportunity, the right time to be able to go in.
And one thing too is that when you start off, usually when you start off, you don't start off right away as special effects.
Right.
If you have a specialty in welding or in pyro, or maybe you start right away as a special effects. But like my brother and I, we moved up from the ranks. When we started on Day After Tomorrow, we started as production designers, pushing brooms.
Production assistants.
What am I saying? Sorry about that. Production assistant. Thank you. Production assistant. So, pushing brooms, taking trash out, doing the logistics up for the crew. And then slowly we made our way up, to our department, set dressing, then props, as well as for greens, all that kind of stuff. So you move up the ranks. You gotta make sure, if you love movies, then it comes with the terrain.
Yeah.
Well, so you're gonna have to, almost like you've seen people that work for a company and work for free, or get paid very little.
Yes.
To get the experience. So
Exactly.
you learn it,
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
working for free, I know what that's all about. But I got two ends now with the business, and I'll go work for visual effects where they actually might fucking pay some money.
Yeah. Hey, you got nothing but love from me. Because Beach does my intros or the outros. He does that. He you know what? I'm trying to give him something to do. The guy ain't got a lot going on. He's welcome.
Well, good job. I like it. I like the intro. Very nice.
Yeah.
I like the work.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's enticing. It's really a good job.
No, it's just fun. I just like to bust his balls.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, it takes valuable time away from my mini golf.
Yes, oh lordy.
Unmute.
Up. Hold on.
Stacy, unmute your mic at the
I
bottom of
can't.
the screen.
He's lost his microphone, he said.
Okay, I got
There
it.
he goes.
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back.
There you go.
Yep.
So, I mean, one of the things when you look at a movie like this, and again, we'll bust balls on a lot of movies, this is, but you think about the some of the scenes, like you said, what went into just that one. What was that scene in that hotel? What, a minute, 2 minutes?
Exactly.
At
Yeah.
most, I mean, it wasn't long because
No.
if a minute, because I'm thinking about when the wave came in and he got pushed off to the side and then they went and got him up so a minute and a half. So
yeah,
all
well,
that work to
exactly.
get that one little part.
Yeah,
2
for that
days.
little part.
2 days.
I mean, 2 days. We're talking about weeks on just doing.
Yeah, I was good.
We're talking weeks.
Prep.
Prep. I mean, if it's not close to a month or two, just to get the tip tanks in, just to get the tip tanks inside studio was a challenge. But yeah, just for that little frame, that little minute, the amount of time and work and money spent just for that time, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, you
And
said.
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that, and with a director that with like Roland Emmerich, he likes practical effects. He will like practical effects all the time on every scene. He's a special effects guy, but after that, of course, to make the movie look better, he'll go into the visual effects, CGI. But he's a director that loves to have the practical effects on set as much as possible. So when you talk about a scene that way, just like the scene that we saw where where you see the Humvees bringing that ship, that was like 3 days, but there was like weeks of prep just for that scene itself. And we had a lot of wind, fire, and black smoke, and but all of that was seen for like less than a minute in the movie, and some just saw on the news clip, like I said at the beginning.
Yeah,
It's like,
let's just get cut.
so,
And that was
gets
probably
cut.
a couple $100,000.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
millions of
millions of
dollars for
dollars.
that
Yeah,
one,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
Well,
yeah,
now-
it's a
and you said that Roland, this was privately funded. So
yes.
him and his investors.
Yes.
So what I saw, Alvin, what'd you have? 54 million.
54 million they're
made
up to.
54 million.
Yeah.
So it
It's
definitely
upside
costs
down.
more than
Yeah.
it costs
Mhm.
more than that.
Yes, and
Yes.
That's why I was asking about, whether it hits the movie theater, because I believe the movie theater is where, you'll get back that money a lot faster.
Yes.
But it's
What-
this wasn't released digitally until
No.
later. Not like
Right.
That's right.
like I would think of what was it, the one with Scarlett Johansson where
Oh,
she got
yeah.
all
Black
upset
Widow.
because
Black Widow.
yeah,
Black
it got
Widow.
released the same day at the theater. And they're like,
Yeah.
who the hell's going to go to the theater
Right.
when
When
they
you
can watch it at home?
All right.
It's like you're good. How many millions are lost that way? So
Yes.
whereas
Yeah,
this
and-
it did stay at the theaters.
as well,
Well-
and most of the investors are from China. I don't know how he made overseas, but Roland is really loved overseas.
Yeah.
So that I don't have no figures on that.
Yeah,
but
I do. I'll get them up for us.
That's why I figured the whole part of having the Chinese exchange student
yes.
was into the movie, because when it's
Which-
intro to the movie, you saw like one of the financiers, like the Hyong brothers.
Yes.
So I figured, okay, so to appease the Chinese investor, we need to have a Chinese character in the movie.
Which is the daughter of one of the investors.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's funny because we both Shannon and I both looked at that and we were like, why? That was another part. It was like, why is this character here in?
Yeah, I mean,
it's like didn't fit. But yeah, that
if
I've got it makes sense now. That's
It
Now-
makes
dollars and
all of
cents.
her, cut out all of her and cut out Sonny, which I didn't think needed to be in the movie at all. I would have liked it more than I did.
Yeah.
There go the numbers there now.
Yeah, I just noticed. I
yeah.
just saw that on the tagline at the bottom.
Yeah.
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 I think that was international.
International
Yeah.
with 30
Yeah.
with 35 international and
Total 55. Yeah.
total 55 and
Yeah.
19 here in domestic.
Hey, Mark.
I read somewhere where Roland had said he would like to make Independence Day 3 for a streaming service.
Yes. Well,
I read that
there's a lot of talk about what's his next project. I know that he has a 3-picture deal with the province of Quebec, which the first one was Moonfall. The second one that he's gonna make here, he's not gonna direct, but he will produce. The third one, I have no idea what it'll be, but there's so many talks about him doing Stargate from Independence Day 3. There's one he wants to make, which is Maya Lord. But yeah, who knows? I mean, it's it.
Someone
Mark,
needs to do
Well,
some.
with the
Mark,
with what happened to Will Smith, he could get him cheap for Independence Day 3. Bring him back as a hologram.
Getting cheap.
No, something happened with that with Will Smith, that they said that because Eddie Murphy was doing gonna do I had a thing for it for later on. One of the movies. Hold on, I'm trying to find it real quick here, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't think we'd be talking about it yet. Okay, he was gonna do Beverly Hill Cops 4,
Mhm.
and I guess the director who was gonna do the other one there for Will Smith isn't gonna do it right now, so that's why Eddie Murphy is gonna go through right now. So that we'll keep our eyes open for Beverly Hills Cop 4 right now.
No,
So
I'm
also,
afraid of
I just wanted to comment also a bit on that. You see that ship that the moon lander and the ship that they go to the moon with, that little ship. Well,
Yeah.
that was us also. That was the special effects department, and with the help of the art department, that ship was really there. We had them on shaky decks, so we could shake the spacecraft. We could tilt it up. We could
Wow.
tilt it down with hydraulics. It was like on a in order to get the actors into the actual scene, so they can actually feel what was going on. That was all done with the special effects department, with the fabricators and the engineers, and there were parts of the spaceship that were movable in order to fit in the camera at different angles, which was an amazing feat for us to do. To be part of it, because Guillaume again had to figure out with his engineers how to come up with that shuttle, which looked great on set.
Yeah.
Right. Look great, but I couldn't understand how they were looking behind themselves.
Mhm.
Looking behind that stuff.
hey, Mark,
Yes.
explain why this movie was made in Quebec or in Canada was not shown in the theaters in Canada.
What's that?
Why the movie wasn't shown in the theaters?
Well,
Oh yeah. Well, that I think it was due to pandemic.
yes, exactly.
Because Canada had shut down its theaters,
Okay.
so it couldn't make it to Canada. It
Yeah,
was only a U.S. release.
because during the deal of the distribution, Canada was shut down, so they
Yeah.
couldn't put Canada into the distribution contract.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Wow.
Canada is a lot more for people that are like in the States. A lot of times people in the States think that's way it is. The same things happen in the States as it happens all over the world. Canada is a whole lot more stringent about
Yes.
a lot of stuff, as well as other countries are more stringent
Yes.
about theaters or rules for COVID. So
Yes.
yeah, I can see where the other countries it was going to miss whole countries because you couldn't release it. The theaters weren't
Yeah.
open or very limited.
Exactly. Because when you think about it, that's everything that's behind the scenes, that these are deals are being made. And especially in the time of pandemic, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't really predict anything. And especially like in a situation like that where the contract has to be signed for the distribution, and then you have a whole country that's shut down.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, geez, so you got to do the best of it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well, I would like to point out too another thing that we did, which we are proud of, where the scene where Michael Pena is like escaping from the fire from the firehouse with and
with
the
the
people
kids.
with the kids and the guys shooting guns and you see that the SUVs are like floating a bit. Well, those Roland came up to Guillaume and he says, "I want a car chase on stage." A car chase on stage is not easy to do, and so Guillaume came up with a rig which is with a hovercraft technology that we had underneath those cars, that the crew, on set crew, as well, my brother and I, with the wind and all that kind of stuff, were able to manhandle those cars. So you have a bunch of guys pushing those cars back and forth, zigzagging and bumping into each other on those hovercraft rigs. So yeah, that was another thing that was never done ever. I think that was a first for everyone.
Yeah.
Now, you said there's guys pushing them around. Do they take those guys out in post? Do they digitally take those guys out of the shot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. They didn't wear a blue suit, which I had the honor to wear on Transformers. That nice, sexy blue suit. But yeah, no, they didn't wear the CG suits. But yes, they were all digitally removed. But it was I don't know if you guys ever buy the DVD or the Blu-ray. I don't know if it's in the making of, but quite interesting when you see behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds to me like that, you got with the special effects really had to do things outside the box and come up with a lot of things that are probably going to be used in other movies.
Yes.
Because you come up with new ideas and other movies down the road be like, well, how did you do that? Oh yeah, okay, now we can replay basically do it the way you did it. So instead of having to come up with a new idea.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Yes.
And every movie is a challenge. And think about it, when you have a movie where the moon is falling to Earth, there's a lot of science behind that, and there's a lot of stuff you got to try to make it as plausible as possible. And that's where Guillaume with his engineers are like, okay, we got to think out of the box here because we got to do this all on stage. There's no way we can do this outside where we can't control the environment or can't control anything else. We got to do all of this on stage. So
and just for the tip tanks, was such a great exciting job to do that when my brother and I worked on Transformers Rise of the Beast, Transformers knew about the tip tanks and was looking into how can we use the tip tanks. They never used it, but it was in the talks. It was in the talks where, oh yeah, I mean, we love what you did on Moonfall, that we would love to use those tip tanks for the Rise of the Beast. And but yes, like you said, word gets around. And how did you guys do that? How did you guys pull that off? And so yes, absolutely.
I'm sure that particular what do you guys call them? Rigs or setups will be used in water disaster movies for a long time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially, just James Cameron what he did with Titanic up in Baja, Mexico. He came up with the whole pool, and it's still there now. I mean, people all waterworks are mostly shot either in London, either in Baja, Mexico, because of James Cameron, because of some James Bond stuff, but yes, absolutely.
All right, we're at an hour, so what I'm going to do now is normally we'll go ahead and do player pass, and we let the people over here on the side play or pass. And how we rate player pass is that if you would recommend this to one of your friends, the people you like, that would be a play. If you don't want your name on this when you're telling a friend to watch this, if that's the case, then you say, I'm a pass because I don't want my friend coming and smack me upside the head saying, why'd you make me waste 2 hours of my life? So that's player pass. We'll go through everyone through the panel as well as people over in the side chat, which most of these people are veterans of our show, so they know player pass. So player pass. I'll go through. I'll start with Mark. We'll start with Mark and Stacey because they're at the bottom of my list. So would you give
Well,
this a player pass?
Well, you know what? I'm kind of biased, right? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with the play.
Yeah, you got it. All right, Stacey, what about you?
Yeah, same here. I'm kind of biased too, right? So yeah, I'll say play.
Yeah, fair
Okay.
enough. Fair enough.
Father like
Eddie?
son. I'm biased too. It's going to be a play.
Yeah, yeah, I gotcha. Roger, player pass.
I'm sorry, guys, but I'm the guy that always bitches about the script, and this script was horrible. So it's a pass for me. But the special effects, your guys' part in it was some of the best I've seen. But I can't recommend a movie just because of that. So I'm sorry. The script was just bad. I'm sorry.
It's all good. All
It's all
good.
good.
Beach. All right, no, we got two curmudgeons. We got
Yeah.
Beach on here.
Yeah.
Beach.
He likes it. He liked it.
All right. So what
Yeah,
about
he
you?
liked
Beach?
it.
Player pass.
Okay, first of all, I'm a fan of Roland Emmerich films. Okay, and I love Ancient Aliens. So the whole premise of the moon being a mega structure, that's right up my freaking playlist. So yeah, Halle Berry's acting,
Oh,
Ryan
Bad.
Haskins' acting,
Bad.
okay, even freaking worse. The John Bradley who played KC was the best actor in the
Yep.
whole freaking movie.
yeah.
He saved it. So I love science fiction movies. So
Me
I
too.
give it a play, and I've already have recommended it to a friend who liked it also. So
Okay.
there.
Gotcha. Oh, this is Beach. All right. What about you, Aubin?
Play for me,
Mhm.
because you know me, guys. I like
Oh
everything.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I watch
You're
so
about
many
like
movies.
10, like almost
Yeah.
every movie.
Well, you know, because I know there's a lot that goes into it,
Yeah.
you know, and I can't help, the actors, you know, but but when I think of the story and the what the concept of it, I have to say I really like it. I love you guys know I love disaster movies, so it's right up there for me. So to play for me.
It explains why you like Jerry curls. Cause
Yeah, well, Jerry, guys, everyone should watch Jerry Curls.
Jerry Curls is
Twice.
legit
You got to watch
funny.
it twice.
Twice.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you gotta
The
watch
first
3
time,
times.
it's ridiculous. The second time
Not a
I did,
chance
I
of it.
found some stuff very. I was like, okay,
Very
no, that
funny?
is kind of funny. That is
Yeah.
kind of funny.
The writing in that one is
Oh,
is,
God.
is bad.
Oh fuck!
And the budget was probably $100,000 from start to
Yep.
finish on that
Yep.
movie. I mean, it
Yep.
was. But we'll let you guys. Your dad can tell you about Jerry Curls.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he can force
so-
you to watch it.
Yeah.
Of
So yeah,
course.
when you go to visit him, yeah,
It's a
sit down
present.
and watch it.
Allow
Yeah.
you to watch it, not force. Allow.
I give it a soft play. There are friends of mine that would watch this, and I did, like I said, the special effects, the visual, the sci-fi look of it. I enjoyed that part of it. Again, I said with things like Roger, there was parts of the script and the dialogue that was like, "What are you doing?" And yes, Halle Berry, she felt
Bad.
very like a cardboard. It was like it was. I want to say like Bruce Willis, and you know
Yeah.
how I am about some Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And she just, there was parts, and I was like, I need something from her, and I just wasn't getting that from her acting. So, yeah, I'll give it a soft play. Again, I would give it to only certain of my friends because I know a lot of my friends would not like this, but there are friends that would like it. Leon saying give special thanks to Mark and Stacy for a great show, and and I don't know what the vote is in Telegram. I think it was a
60-40. It was a
60-40
40
for a
play.
pass or
Yeah,
play.
for a pass. Yeah.
All right, so close. I mean, that's not as bad as some movies we've had.
Roger,
Yep.
if you like writing, if you want to see something, we would like to hear your take on that.
Okay.
My brother and I wrote a Epcot short movie that's playing in Florida, France, and China, which is Oh Canada Far and Wide. It's in the Canadian Pavilion. You can watch it on YouTube.
All right, cool. I will.
Yes,
Yeah.
you just type up Epcot Canada Far and Wide, And yeah,
I could put
so
up
my brother and I wrote
Roger-
that short little documentary, and you know, we would
Okay.
love to get your take on that.
Oh yeah.
Roger's a glutton for punishment. He's watched some of my movies.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And the special effects weren't nearly as good, Dave.
Okay, that was fucking circa like 1989, 1990.
Oh yeah, so we got our panel's full of just experts on this. So all right, so we got that. So Alban, what's our movie that we have to watch for next week? Then we can we'll open the floor to talk about TV shows and movies that are coming up.
So far, it's The Outfit, I believe.
Okay, yes.
That was the best of what's listed there.
How would you know what's the best? I watched all 8 movies. Okay.
You know what? I'm sorry. I got better
I
things to do with my time. I can look and I can say that movie's gonna suck.
My suggestion for The Outfit: Be high.
I will.
Well, wait a minute. That's Roger all the time.
I will.
Todd,
No worries.
fire up some hash first.
I'm ready. I've got my stuff right here. So when it comes time to watch it, I'll catch a buzz on that one. Hey, it's legal in Canada, so I'm not breaking the laws. So
legal
the outfit,
somewhere.
yeah. So the outfit is what we have to watch for next week. So you should be sure for you guys to watch that. So before we go to before we open the panel, the floor for everybody's TV shows that we want to talk about, I want to again thank Stacy and thank Mark for you guys coming on here for your hard work and giving us that the thoughts that go behind it, because yes, we can probably be pretty shallow about certain things that we'd like or don't like and not thinking about what went into there, just like you're talking about the tip tank and how long it took to create that 2 minutes of film. And so that was a great insight, and I really appreciate it. You're welcome to come on the show anytime.
Hey,
Thank you for having us, guys. This was great.
It was awesome,
Yeah,
and we greatly appreciate it too.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Anytime you guys are
comes
welcome.
out, we'll have to get you back for that.
Yeah.
The what?
The
For which one?
Transformers movie they worked
Ah.
on.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Yes.
Blue will probably be on for that show because
Oh, yeah, she'll be on for that.
she loves some Transformers and
Just
Star Wars
just say you're
Transformers.
working on the Lord of the fucking Rings movie.
Yeah, she would definitely be for
Oh,
that one
boy.
too.
Oh,
She'll
yeah.
magically appear.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna open the floor, so that the floor is open for whatever we want to talk about, and I'm gonna throw it out there. So
Okay.
Well, I watched 3 TV shows this week. I watched Severance, I watched Pumped, and I watched one called The After Party, which I'm not completely done with. And out of them, I would say Super Pumped is probably the best out of all 3 of them so far. But The After Party is really funny. It's an Apple Plus show. So give it a chance. I've had some pretty good belly laughs in it so far.
So what did you say the other one was?
Severance,
Super Pump, Severance,
Super
yeah.
Pumped, and The After Party.
After Party.
Hey,
And
Roger,
this is always great for getting people.
Roger,
You
the
come up with
Severance,
things.
it's at a TV miniseries?
Yeah, it's
No, they're coming with season 2.
Yeah, it's a season.
it'll have season 2. I don't remember who did it. Who did that one? Was that Netflix? Maybe.
Was it Apple TV also?
I don't remember.
Is it? Wait, I don't see Roger. What am I looking for here? You said it's a show.
Yeah, it's a TV show called The After Party.
The After Party.
Let me make sure that's what it's called. Yeah, The After Party.
Oh, yeah, hold on a second. I guess if I share this part. So it isn't this one. This 2017. Or well, I don't know.
It's got Taja P. Henson in it.
Oh, okay.
There it is. It's a yellow one. The third
Yellow
one.
one.
This one. This
Oh, yeah,
one. Okay, yeah.
I
I had
got
to
that.
add the. Oh, it's one word. After Party's one word. Okay.
And Ike
All right.
Barinholtz is in it, and he is hilarious in it. And this, I don't know who this black kid is, but really, really funny.
Okay. All right.
Is that Taraji? Is that no? That's Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, that's right. wrong girl.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, because I saw that thing on her face.
She's not the funniest out of all of them, but she's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like
Sam Richardson's in it. Okay.
it's a murder mystery type of deal, but it's funny. Funny.
Okay.
All right.
Super
Wait, but
fun.
what else? What else people got?
Okay.
I was watching a film with Stephen Graham. It's called The Boiling Point.
Boiling
It's about
Point.
It's a movie.
It's an older movie.
no, it's a new movie. It's not. It's a 2021 Boiling Point.
Okay.
And it's got Stephen Graham in it.
Stephen Graham in it. I like that actor. That guy,
he's a cook.
Yeah, he's a cook. And
Oh yeah. That's an older movie. That didn't just.
no,
come
it's
out.
221.
Oh, last year. I seen it.
You know, when you get to a certain age,
Yeah, I
even
know.
2021 sounds like a new movie.
I know. I saw that already. I saw that one already.
Is it like Pig?
It was actually a pick for the show. So
Yeah.
no one watched it, but I did.
Well, you did.
Yeah.
Is it as good as Pig?
I don't know if you guys saw the Eye of Tammy Faye.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I now say that the girl, the lady that played Tammy Faye did a fabulous
Jessica
job.
Chastain.
Yeah, she did a fabulous job. I mean, because I'm from North Carolina, so that PTL and all that stuff, I remember that stuff because that was in local, and it was a better show than I thought. I was expecting to really dislike
Same
it.
here.
And I was like, oh, this
Yeah,
isn't
it's
bad.
very good.
And the acting, like I said, was really good. And
Yeah, she
yeah.
deserved that Oscar.
yeah,
Yeah.
she definitely did.
Yeah.
There's a movie. It's called Operation Mincemeat. It's based on a true story, and I think it's based on the original movie. It's called The Man That Never Was, and I think that's one of the first movies I ever saw in the theater in 1956. So I'm telling you my age.
We're right behind you, Eddie.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
We're right behind you.
But
We're right behind you.
why did you wait till you were 40 to go to the movies?
Well, ever since Saturday night, I've been on a freaking combination of what happened during the EFC fight, and I guess getting ready to go to West Virginia. I've been going on an inbred marathon watching spree. So, I mean, I've posted one of them over in the chat and YouTube. The Whitakers of Odd, West Virginia. Oh my God. It's freaking disturbing. It's just freaking love. If you like horrible, that's another one. And another one is called Just Go White, The Dancing Outlaw. So yeah, if you want to watch some really sick documentaries about people from the state that I'm from, kind of fucking disturbing.
So that was the Whitakers of the inbred. What was it? Inbred.
Inbred family, yeah. Yeah. Oh, trust me, Red. It's freaking. No, I mean, just to get the one guy doesn't talk. He communicates by barking like a dog.
Oh wait, so that was a guy barking?
Yes. Okay.
That really makes it funny,
Yeah, it wasn't a dog barking. It was a guy.
Man.
That's how he freaking communicates. He barks like a freaking dog. And there's a follow-up video where they take him to a Walmart. So I mean,
I got a couple things here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Netflix, they've been listening to Eddie because they now come up with a 2 thumbs up button.
I saw that.
Super likes,
I
saw that and I said, "Oh, this is right up Eddie's alley."
I thought of Eddie as well. So
did I. So Netflix has been listening to you, Eddie.
Yeah, they actually watch it because Eddie will get when he likes something. He goes, "I give it 2 thumbs up." So yeah, hey, we're groundbreaking here, making waves.
I just saw a comment here that Patty D was asking us how we got into the special effects.
Okay.
So I don't know if Patty is still on, but
Yeah, she's still there.
yeah. Well, it's actually it's a different consequences and events that actually happened that we got into special effects. It started that when we were on Mirror Mirror with Julia Roberts. We started with snow effects, and that was they needed help, and we were already like in different departments, and people knew us already because we started back in 2003 on Day After Tomorrow, like my brother was saying, and then we went through the ranks of Green's department, art department, props, and so forth, and then they needed help in special effects and snow effects when it came to Mirror Mirror, and they asked us to start if we could help. And we said, yeah, no problem. We would like to try it. And then what happened is that later on, my brother, because this Moonfall is actually our fifth movie with Roland Emmerich. My brother was approached, and Guillaume needed help in the department when it came to Stonewall.
Yeah, so let me take over from here.
Yeah.
So my brother's in the art department, and I'm tapped to come in as special effects, and I have no clue what I'm doing. So, but my floor supervisor, Michel Gagnon, he thinks that I know what I'm doing. So he says, "Okay, run this fan here, run this smoke machine over here," and I'm juggling, I'm going back and forth, I'm sweating bullets, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So here I am with the fans and stuff. But Roland knows me from Day After Tomorrow, White House Down, and all these films. And at one point, I had this smoke. I don't know if you guys saw Stonewall. It's one of his first independent films. So the bar's on fire. Okay, so we have fire bars. And I'm in charge of the smoke. And when Roland gets involved in these type of films, he's really passionate. So here I am. I'm doing the smoke for the smoke. The bar is on fire, and Roland wants more smoke. And I can hear him with his big German accent, more smoke. And I'm like, okay, and I'm trying to put the smoke and then next thing you know, he's not satisfied. So he comes right next to me, and he's like, more smoke, more smoke. And he puts his hands on his hips, and I'm kneeling down, and I'm seeing like he's towering over me. It's like, more smoke, more smoke. And with the fire in behind him, he looked like a German general, a Nazi general. I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm shaking the smoke machine, and I'm trying to do the best I can. And out of the blue, out of the hat, I was able to bring what he wanted. But that was like trial by fire, literally into special effects.
And then because of my brother's good work, what happened is that Guillaume liked it so much, but he knows that we work together all the time. And so when X-Men Apocalypse came to town, he hired both of us to join in the crew, and we've been in the crew ever since. Wow. So that's how we got it. And like I said, the best way to actually just jump to know what you're doing is on hands and right when you start working. That's where you learn.
Yep.
See, I thought you guys were gonna say my dad was so cheap he wouldn't pay for us to go to the movies, so he's gonna screw this.
Make him wrong.
Get jobs working in the movies.
Hey, I got a story about my dad being cheap.
So do we,
That's for another show, maybe.
Yeah, that's gonna be for another show. I'll bite my tongue on that.
Okay, the only thing I don't like about the movies, I'm going to tell you, since Stacy and Mark are in the movies, because when they're in the movie, they go 100% into it, okay? Mm-hmm. And we lose. Well, the only communication we have is by text or once in a while a phone call, because they know when they leave. They just don't know when they're coming back. You know, it could come back all different times of hours. You know, you try to get in touch with them. Well, Dad, I'm still working. I'm still on set. This and that. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But they're happy and they love what they're doing. You know.
Well, yeah, that's it. One thing is when we're jumping on a project, the people who knows us, family members and friends, we go on another planet. We're totally. I mean, we're doing minimum 12 hours a day, but we're never making 12 hours a day. We're making 16, 18-hour days, 6 days out of a week, 1 day weekend. That 1 day weekend, we just sleep, you know, so we don't see family, friends. You know, it's touch and go at home, you know, just like for Transformers, that one was a rough one. You know, with my little daughter, I barely saw her. I mean, you know, it's touch and go. They go to sleep. I'm still working. They wake up. I go to sleep. You know, and you know, with Roland, especially with Roland, he's so passionate that you know, my brother and I saw some 21 hours. You know, some 21-hour days. You know, and as a first movie, I wasn't with special effects back then. I was a production assistant. I used to work in an office. You know, my brother and I got in the movie business because we wanted to write movies. But I mean, we write movies, you know, and write scripts. And so the best way to know is to be in the business. But when I mean, that's another trial by fire is a Roland Emmerich picture, Day After Tomorrow. So here I am. I'm used to 8 hours a day, you know, 5 days a week. And now here I am on Day After Tomorrow making 16, 17 hours a day. I used to cheat. I used to go on a Johnny in the Spot. Okay, you know those you know those toilets, those chemical toilets, right?
Yeah.
I used to put an alarm on my phone and sleep in there because I couldn't handle the day. I couldn't handle the hours. Well, yeah, I gotta go. You know, I gotta. You know, in the movies, you know, when you say 10-2, that means you gotta go do number 2, right? So I would say to my boss, yeah, 10-2, okay, and I would go in to take a nap for 15 minutes. You know.
That damn set food wasn't working for me.
Right. Yeah.
Some other box office info we got here.
I saw that.
The Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's hit 71 million so far. And Ambulance isn't doing anything. So
Yeah,
That's just
horrible.
That I don't know. Both of those. I mean, Sonic Hedgehog 1 was actually better than I thought. Again, went in with no expectations on Sonic Hedgehog, and I was like, when I watched the first one, I'm like, well, that's actually kind of funny, you know. And Jim Carrey was funny in it, and so I can't believe
Jim's saying
71
that this
million.
is going to be his last movie.
Yeah, he's done.
He's done
With movies or with just
with
Sonic
everything.
Hedgehog?
He's done.
He's retired.
He's done. He's retiring.
Wow,
Yeah. That's it for him. It's a shame.
that's too bad because I remember him all the way from In Living Color.
Color,
You guys remember In Living
Oh,
Color?
yeah.
And he
that was
was
a great show.
Venus
That was
Milo.
Something.
Yeah, I mean,
Let me show you
remember
something.
we watching West Virginia Tough Man. We saw him fighting in the women's
Oh yeah.
middleweight category the other
Yeah.
week. Venus de Milo.
Venus
Oh,
Milo.
yeah, for people that have not watched In Living Color, that was groundbreaking.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
totally.
A lot of good
Absolutely.
people on that. It was funny.
Men on film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man.
All right, see, you got something else? Some other?
I got a
topics?
bunch of things.
Headlines?
There,
Uh-oh.
I'll go through them real quick. Prime Video finds Phoebe Waller-Bridge for the replacement for that new Mr. and Mrs. Smith reboot. In case if you didn't know, there was a reboot on that. Andre Holland is going to be playing. They're like doing. I don't know if it's a documentary on the Black Panther leader on Apple TV, but that's something else to look for. The Robert Pattinson reboot for the Batman will be streaming on HBO Max in April. It's only
18th.
The 18th, Monday.
18th.
Yeah, 45 days after it was released
Yep.
in the theater.
Yeah, I've
So
heard
that's
it's not done
more
very
of a-
well at the theaters.
Yeah. Good news. Larry David is
Yay.
going to be doing another season of Curb
Good.
Enthusiasm.
And
Yeah.
again, another show that you either love it or hate it,
Mhm.
because his quirky, his sense of humor is I
Love
know Shannon doesn't like it because she says it makes her uncomfortable. She says
Oh,
he's so.
it's
She
hilarious.
goes, he makes me uncomfortable because he puts himself in bad situations.
But he doesn't think he's put himself in a bad situation.
No.
That's what's so funny. The Rookie might be doing a spinoff because now that they got Niecy Nash has joined the cast. SWAT has been renewed for season 6 in CBS.
Never watched it.
Oh no, it's actually pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, you keep them cop
yeah,
shows.
I
want
yeah,
cops.
I like,
That's the only cop show I like.
Right, me too.
I watch all those cop shows. I watch them all. Law and Order is all of them.
I watch cops and root for the bad guys.
Yeah.
Pull your pants up. Cops coming.
Cops coming.
Tie your shoes first.
Hey, Albert, you haven't heard anything about We Own the City? It's going to be playing, I think, in a couple of weeks.
What is?
We Own the City. It's
that's coming. Yeah, that's coming real soon on HBO.
Yeah.
That's coming real soon. We're all waiting for that. Talking about the real got canceled after 6 seasons. They tried to save the show, but they couldn't.
Because it sucked.
Yeah. Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul are confirmed to reprise themselves in Breaking Bad.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Yeah, they're gonna come back in for that.
If they ever showed the freaking final season in 2026, Jesus Christ.
Well, he had a heart attack, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but even before that,
cut him up some slack. Get out there.
Everyone's talking about the Goldbergs, how they're doing such a horrible job trying to replace
Jeff Garland.
Yeah, it's criminal what they're doing. I just want them just end the show.
Yeah,
leave it alone.
I think they're going to pick it up for another season.
They are, and I don't know, and it's going to be horrible if they do.
I hope they kill Murray. I hope they just kill him.
Yeah, but they won't. I know, but well, think about it. I don't know if his real father is still alive. Let the real father come in and do it.
I don't think the real dad is around. I've not seen any new pictures of him. Like you do, you see new pictures of the mom.
Right.
I haven't seen anything from newer than the 90s of the dad.
Yeah.
So I think he's gone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, I'm on my way soon. Okay.
You sound just like your dad when you say that.
Mama said, "Get off of there." Long enough.
Simpsons are going to be featuring a deaf actor using American Sign Language in the show. That's a new one.
Last week's episode they did that with Liam Guns Murphy's son got cochlear implants.
Okay.
Did he do this one?
Yeah,
he did not do.
That's the only thing you learned from us watching
Coda.
That's the only thing you learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, twat waffle and shit face.
That cleaning lady got
coming back to season 2.
I just don't want to forget.
Gilbert.
In case of anyone didn't know.
A lot of funny guys. You don't want to be a funny guy right now.
As a matter of fact, I got a picture of Gilbert and
Bob Saget and Louis Anderson. He posted it after those two had passed away.
Yeah. A shame. Really, truly a shame. And as we all might know, Will Smith has to return
The Oscar?
It's on the Oscars. That's what they're
Really?
calling for now. Yeah.
I knew that he was. I saw he was going to be banned for 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're
don't-
banning
I
it
don't-
for 10
I don't
years.
agree with that.
But-
I don't
agree with
either.
that.
yeah.
I don't
listen,
know.
listen.
I
If you're gonna take it away from them, if you're gonna say, "Oh, we're banning you for a reason," right?
Yeah, but it should be going forward.
Shouldn't you be?
It's going
I
forward.
know what
I
you're saying,
don't.
but for the act of what you did,
So,
what I mean, he
10
shouldn't
year
shouldn't have,
suspension
he
is
shouldn't have
pretty
been there.
big.
He gets an asterisk like Mark McGuire.
Yeah. He gets an asterisk.
Yeah, I'm not down with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about right now. I think that's about it that I had. I don't
Okay.
think
All right. We're at an hour and a half, so we got to
Yeah.
roll out here. And Stacy and Mark have been patiently
Yeah.
with us for a long time.
Thanks, guys.
So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just open it. Anything you guys want to say before we roll out? Stacy,
No.
anything we want to say before we go?
I just want to say thank you for having us. I mean, it's fun to share and to be able to give our experience and give a broader sense of what a movie entails. And I'd be honored to come back if you guys want for any other movies that we've worked on. It'd be great for us. I wouldn't mind it at all.
Awesome.
Yes, thank
Great.
you so much
Mark?
for having
Yeah.
us. And you know, it's
Yeah.
Hold on for 1 second, my daughter's there.
Yeah.
Eddie's just dying to see her.
Oh, yeah.
He's stretching over.
She's been banging on the door. Yes, so thank you very much for having us, guys. And yeah, it's been a pleasure to be able to shed light and behind the scenes and what is entailed in special effects and the worlds of special effects, and and all the stories that we can have during those making of the movies. We would glad to share. So anytime you guys want us to be back on a movie we worked on, yeah, more the merrier. That would be great.
Awesome. That is great.
Thank
Eddie,
you so much,
anything
guys.
you want to say? Thanks, Mark. Eddie?
I'm so happy to have my sons on this program. It's I don't know, the stars were in the right place. The movie I didn't think was going to get voted #1. I said, okay, if it gets voted, okay, maybe I can get Stacy and Mark. Okay, if we don't get voted #1, well, maybe some other time. But when it came out, we won #1. I said, let's try to get Stacy and Mark. Okay.
Yeah.
So I did it. It took a lot of texting back and forth, trying to get a hold of Stacy. Stacy, this guy's going left and right because his sons are in sports like crazy. So,
Lordy.
so
Yeah.
but
Well, thanks, Dad. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah,
Thanks you
it
guys
was
for
awesome.
having us.
Hey,
It's
this
fun.
is where he spends every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
Wednesday, he is on the panel.
Here, right.
Yeah,
Good.
that's great. It
We
was
love
fun.
It's
It was
good.
really
I mean,
fun.
Before he was not into movies. He was not into TV shows, and
Oh.
Oh, he is now.
But
Yeah.
he is now, which is great.
Roger, anything you want to say before we go?
Well, as always, thanks for the invite. I always love being
Oh, yeah.
here. Sorry I didn't like the movie, guys. But
It's all
like
good.
Your part was,
Roger, until we write one,
uh-huh.
then when we're gonna write one, then you can comment, and then we can either take it personal or not.
All right.
That's fine.
Your
Yeah.
part of this movie was stellar. Absolutely stellar. I had a great time, and I want you guys to know that we loved your dad. And and this isn't the same when he skips a week. So he's important to us. And
Good.
Awesome.
We're happy that you guys enjoy his company, and
Yeah.
he talks about you guys all
the
every
time.
week,
Yeah.
all the time. And just to gather my brother and I to make the show was a challenge because I was out of town. I'm out of town right now, and trying to get both of us together. So, but yeah, it all worked out in the end, and we're glad that we were able to talk and meet you guys. So yes, thank you for my dad. Thank you for all of you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beach.
Sorry. If they come out with like the director's cut and bonus features, just another thing that might make me want to get the CD is if use the tip tank, get Halle Berry in like a nice tight white heater and dump some cold water on it, then I'd probably be willing to buy like the bonus feature CD.
yeah.
It's cool having you guys on. getting some behind the scenes stuff. That's always fun.
Alvin?
Right. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Really, I'm so happy to see Eddie so happy to be able to see you guys on a show where he's always thinking of you, always.
Yeah.
And to have him here with you now, he's just really happy. As for everyone else, don't forget next week we have the other movie, The Outfit. Hope you enjoy it. And the Friday show, if we even do a show Friday, I'm not sure if we will. No, we're not. Okay.
No, I'll be out of town.
But we'll either be playing mini golf or we'll be doing an after show.
Okay.
All right. So I ain't gonna say thanks again, but what they all said, I think they said it, and I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us. And yes, we will not have a show on Friday. I'm gonna be in Niagara Falls, so I'm gonna enjoy myself down there with my wife, and we're gonna see what things we can do down there. So we will not have a show, but we will have one Wednesday, and then following Friday we'll have our Streaming Matters show as normal. And again,
Dabs, you're going to Niagara Falls. There's a gondola there. Don't get on.
Okay. My baby don't want to get rid of me. We ain't been married long enough for her to get rid of me.
Get a barrel and push.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna go. Thanks for y'all watching, and thanks for everyone hanging out with us. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Okay, we'll be